Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Bro License, and we're gonna be talking about Dodges and the trim levels. So I'm gonna be mostly talking about the engine because I don't want to be talking much about the aesthetics of it and their packages because there's so many, like the RT Plus, the Daytonas on the Charger side, and the TAs on the Challenger side, and there's just a lot more. But I want to be mostly focusing on the different engine levels, they have and the differences between them. And it's gonna be nice and simple for those who don't know much about them. I'm also gonna be making this video for those who are maybe interested in one and don't know much about them, and just a little just about the pros and cons, I guess you could say. But just something, not really pros and cons, just quick statistics that may help. Okay, so we're gonna be beginning with the S16 and GT because they have the same engine. However, the only difference to keep in mind when getting a GT is that they offer it in a all-wheel drive option, so that's something to keep in mind. So the S16 and GT, they have a 3.6 liter engine that puts out 305 horsepower with 268 pound-feet of torque, which is really good for a V6 actually. So it's a V6 engine and it's really great. It runs great. I've driven it myself. I was about to get one because me and my friend made a bet that we were gonna get Challengers in the future, but I always told him I want a V8, and I went with the RT, which I'll talking about a bit. And so I drove his before he got his 2 weeks before I did, and I was so close to getting a V6 because it's cheaper and more affordable. I wanted to get it, but I'm glad I was patient. The V6 is a great daily driver because you're not wasting as much gas as a V8, obviously, and it has a good amount of power for you to have fun. It does burnouts, you could do stuff like that, but of course make sure you're doing that in a safe place. So again, we are talking about 305 horsepower and 268 pounds-feet of torque, so you could definitely have fun with it. Gas mileage is rather well. I think he used to average around 22 miles per gallon, so that's really good. Another thing to keep in mind, however, is it is a pretty heavy car. I think weighing around 3,800 pounds, so it is going to feel a little heavy. For the Chargers, maybe a little more, I believe. But overall, it's a great car, and I think it should be fun for those who are barely starting with to drive and just want a daily driver. If 305 horsepower and 268 pound-feet of torque wasn't enough, we're talking about 372 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. So yeah, so maybe the horsepower may not sound much of a difference, but what makes the big difference from the RT and the S60 is the torque, and you just feel it, guys. Because when I went from his car to mine and finally bought it 2 weeks later, is when you press on the gas, it literally pulls you back. It's because these cars are known for the torque, guys. From every V8 from Dodge, they have very torquey cars because you feel it on the low end. You definitely feel it, and it's a great feeling, especially for those who want to have fun. So I definitely would be careful if you're not familiar, but I think this RT is definitely right in the middle for those who really want to get familiar with this type of power, because again, it can get dangerous if you're not familiar with this type of power. So a great beginning for anyone. If 372 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque is still not enough, we could go to the SRT Pack, which is one of my favorites because I have driven one. But these are really fun cars, and they have 485 horsepower and 475 pounds-feet of torque. So you're talking about a little over 100 horsepower difference and 75 pounds-feet of torque difference. So yeah, I've driven one, and when you launch it from 0 to 60, it spins a lot, so you got to be careful. This car is not a joke, and it's a lot of fun. So this one wastes a little more gas than the RT. It's maybe like 2 miles per gallon, which is surprisingly really good actually. I thought it'd be more of a difference, but it conserves gas pretty well. So if you want to keep up with Mustang GTs, Camaro SS's, and you're just gonna be faster than most cars, to be honest with you, the SRT Pack is really one to deal with. So we finally got to the Hellcat, guys, and of course many people know the Hellcat, and the Hellcat contains 700. The first generation Hellcat actually contains 707 horsepower with 650 pounds-feet of torque. It's really fun. I actually have not driven one myself, so I'm really hoping to drive one soon. My friend is getting one, I believe, and as soon as he gets it, he told me he's gonna let me drive it. So I'm really excited, and hopefully I could do a review on it and you guys could check it out and see what it's like. But it looks really fun, guys. I've seen videos, but again, you got to be careful with these cars because this is just a different beast. And of course, as the 707 horsepower wasn't enough for Dodge, they made a car later on in 2020, I believe, that came out with 717 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque, which is just 10 horsepower more. However, that same year, they came out with the Hellcat Red Eye, which is basically a Hellcat with more power on it, which is around, I believe, 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque. That is pretty insane. Sounds pretty fun. I definitely want to drive one soon. Hopefully I get the chance to. Actually, I will, and then I will definitely post it, and hopefully I could have fun with it. It is definitely one of the cars I want to get in the future. Then we're going to go back a couple years. In 2018, however, I'm just going by engine levels. And this one came out in 2018. It's a limited edition, and it's called a Dodge Demon. And it's a demon for a reason. We're talking about 840 horsepower. However, it has to be on race gas. If not, we're talking about 808 horsepower on regular gas. But that's still pretty insane with 717 pound-feet of torque. It's mind-boggling. Just think about that for a moment. And we're talking about Dodge running a 9.6 quarter mile on it, I believe. Which again, this is nearly impossible, but it was still possible. Obviously, they were able to do it. So that's still insane to even think about. The fact that they were able to get this Dodge Demon to hit 9.6 seconds in the quarter mile. Of course, no one's really hitting that, but it's, again, just something to think about. It did happen, however. It's not impossible per se. All of these cars are obviously different, and one is gonna be the right choice for you. Only you know which one it is. However, I just want to bring up some things that you may want to keep in mind when purchasing these cars. As I mentioned, you're gonna want to think about how familiar you are with driving a pretty fast car, you know, because you don't want to get in an accident just buying a car. Because I have heard about a lot of people getting cars, especially recently. The Charger has become one of the most bought in cars, and it's recently got a bad reputation of people getting a fast car and just crashing them, unfortunately. It's unfortunate. It's a nice car. However, I'm a bigger fan of Challengers. Keep in mind is that the faster car you get, the more your insurance is going to go up, because of course it's a more pricey car and it's a sportier car, and of course again, insurance companies are going to expect more accidents that may happen. Of course, another thing you want to keep in mind is how much it's going to cost, because aside from the cost itself, you're gonna have to pay taxes and registration. The sportier the car, the more expensive both registration and taxes are gonna get. Again, all these cars are fun, and there's all one right for you, and only you know that. So I'm excited to see if any of you guys purchase one of these. Let me know what car you have. If you already have one, let me know, and hopefully you are enjoying your car. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this was pretty informative for those who don't know much about these cars and are maybe planning to get one or already have one but don't know about it. And hopefully this was informative again, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.